Today didn't go the way I planned. I have some work tasks and some lectures to catch up with, and my to do list is just growing by the minute. But instead of tackling them in a strategic way, I froze. As someone struggling with both work and studying, the pressure to constantly be on and constantly be doing something is quite overwhelming, and that often leads me into a cycle or a loop of procrastination and perfectionism because whenever I want to do something, I want to do it right and I want to do it perfectly. And I hold myself to these very unreasonable standards and end up spending a lot of time doing things that generally wouldn't take as long. I start the day thinking that I need to do everything, and that actually leads me to doing nothing. And I just freeze. When I stay in this loop long enough, burnout starts to creep in. Not burnout because I'm actually doing a lot or because of physical exhaustion, because I'm actually getting my goals done, but burnout because my mind is constantly plagued with thoughts of the fact that I'm not doing enough and feeling like a failure. And this whole existential crisis of whether what I'm doing is even worth it and whether I'm even making any progress. And I'm sure this isn't just me. I'm sure there are some of you watching this video who feel the same way and resonate with this feeling. But I'm learning that these messy, chaotic, and imperfect days can be turned around and you can salvage an unproductive day. And that's exactly what I'm going to attempt to do today because I have a couple of work tasks that I really need to get done today. And I've decided that I am not going to go to bed until I actually finish them all, no matter how long it takes. Which probably sounds a little desperate and not the strategy that I would suggest to everybody, but it's just that this needs to get done and I'm going to get it done one way or another. I used to think that if I didn't start the day strong, the day was lost. But a growth mindset means choosing to try again, even halfway through the day. But instead of writing this day off, I'm going to hit reset. So let's do this. So I just got done with filling my Notion calendar. What I'm basically going to be working on for the rest of today, and I've blocked out the next 2 hours to basically focus on my first session of a work task. Essentially, I'm working on a literature review, which basically entails me having to go through a bunch of literature across different electronic databases on the internet and pull out literature that is relevant to our research question and extract information that might be useful and that we could possibly use for our specific research project. I'm basically just going to take the next 2 hours to start reading some of the papers that I've already looked for in advance. So I'm just going to go through all of that, summarize some of that, and my first session is basically going to run from 2 to 4 p.m. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a 10-15 minute break and then continue from 4 to 6:30. And I usually break for dinner around 6:37 anyway. So that works out pretty well. Just checking in. I just managed to finish my first lit review session, which was about 2 hours. It's currently about 4 o'clock. I'm just going to take a 10 to 15 minute break. It was pretty productive. I managed to review about 6 papers, which is, again, it doesn't seem like a lot, but um, I also did a little bit of searching, and that took a little bit of time to find some more papers. But yeah, I think overall, I'm not sure if I'm on track, but there's quite a bit that I need to get through. I'm hoping to kind of review about 20 to 30 papers by the end of today. And I think at this rate, I'm not going to not going to be able to cut it, but we'll try our best. Hello, hello. It is the next day, the next morning. So it is a Saturday morning. I managed to finish quite a bit of the lit review and tasks that I was trying to focus on last night. I would say I'm productive most of the time. This is definitely a one-off, like bad day that I'm having, but I feel like I've managed to turn it around quite successfully. I think I had like a pretty unproductive morning slash afternoon. I only started working around 2 p.m. yesterday, but I did manage to get through quite a bit of my lit review, and I think I'm in a good place to continue working on it next week. And there are no hard deadlines for this, but as usual, I think in my head, I'm like, I would like it to be done by a certain time frame. I also want to be the kind of person that shows up despite any resistance and is able to work through that resistance and come out. I feel like there's something very meaningful when you try to challenge yourself or you try to better yourself. And another one of my long-term goals that I hope to pursue is consistency. It is more about showing up even on days that are, quote unquote wasted, like days where I, start off the day doing nothing and like being super unproductive, but then turning the day around and really proving to myself that I can really do difficult things. Not every day starts strong, but I have learned that it's really important to hit reset and to also indulge in activities that fill your cup and feed your soul and sort of re-energize you to approach these goals and get back to doing your daily work with more energy. So this morning you basically saw me working for the last 2 hours. I was just working through a professional development course that I'm taking about AI and mental health care. Super interesting. Some of the insights that were provided by the speakers and the panelists were super, super informative. I am not a data scientist. I don't have a background in computer science or anything. So I have to admit, some of it was quite difficult for me to follow, but I've tried my best. I did some additional readings. So I attended the classes. I just wanted to transcribe some of what and like take some notes from the sessions. And then there are some reflection assignments that we had to submit. So I was just working on that. So I think the morning and the weekend is off to a really good start. I also took a break after the 2 hours to work on my wedding card invite. I think this is a very important year for me in so many different ways. I want to be documenting this specific phase of my life. And if there's any of you who resonate with any of this content, feel free to leave comments in the chat or reach out to me. I hope you stick around.